Morning. Oh, we've not even got big full screen, and we've got the discussing now. This is going all wonderful. Here we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Twitch.tv /Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and this man is the man that we call many things when he's not around, but when he's here, we call him Baby.
Good morning.
I'll read.
Hello.
If anyone's in the chat, please feel free to say hello. For those of you that don't know, as mentioned, I'm Graham. This is Bib. We together are Ice Cream Uploads. And in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is the Scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. We bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. And we give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories. If you want to get involved, we want to hear your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So please feel free to use the chat exactly like Chappers is doing already. Good morning, Chappers. And Chappers has used one of our exclusive subscriber emotes that sounds a little bit like this.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. Although RTX doesn't like it when you do that, which got but it's fine. We know what it was supposed to be. It's okay.
I'll have to change the threshold, I think.
Yeah, I think I need to do the same thing as well. But yeah, like I said, please feel free to get involved in the chat. And it's important that you do because we turn this live stream into an on-demand video that goes on YouTube and a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So please feel free to use your voice for the benefit of those that can't do it when they're listening later on demand. So feel free to get involved. Just Chucky has the legend that is the man, Chucky Boy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good morning, Chucky. How the devil are you?
Morning, mate. He's just as excited as I am this morning. Telling you that now.
What, for Mottle?
Well, for that, yeah, of course. But for some Pez modding, I can sense it from here.
Madge, good morning. Madge also dropping in the hello emote. Once again, subscriber exclusive. That's what I want to see. Good morning, gentlemen. Yes, for those of you who don't know what the modding we're talking about is, on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have a series called Masters of the League where we play through a PES fully modded PC Master League. And we are in season 2. We've just been promoted to the Premiership. We're a few games in. We started off amazingly. We took a little bit of a not I wouldn't say a banana peel, but we didn't go off course. We kind of were punching above our weight, and we dropped down to where we should be after a couple of harder games in the league. But you know what? I'm not going to spoil anymore. If you want to see any more of that, that will follow this show. We'll go off air once we finish the scoop, and then we'll jump in 10 minutes of the league. So if you want to see that, then feel free to stick around. But before we jump into the news bit, anything you got up to yesterday? Anything of interest? Anything we should know?
Gaming wise, didn't do that much until the evening. I mentioned it a few times, but I'm in a retro Pez group with the likes of Chucky, Shales, Marlon. And we like to share our experiences with the modding stuff that people may have come across. And now I have the ability to play regional games on my PS2 thanks to the free McBoot memory card. Now yesterday managed to play the Japanese version of PES 2, which is winning 11-6, I think it was. However, it's a hell of a lot different than what you'd expect from a PES 2 game. So it's just an English version of the game. It's got Match of the Day theme tune playing throughout. It's got James sit down in the menus. Obviously, when I come to stream this, I won't be able to play any of that. DMCA is just going to ruin our life. But we have the ability to play it with all of the English teams right the way throughout the divisions. So there is no Barcelona in the game. There's no Real Madrid. There's no Marseille. There's no Paris. There's nothing. It just goes down the Football League pyramid. So you got the Barclays Premier League. Yes, Barclays Premier League, because this is how old it is. And then you have nationwide Division 1 and 2. So you can play as like Luton Town and stuff like that in the game. It is mental. So yeah, it's got all the kits from 2002 to 2003. So Man City's first year in the Premier League. So we have the likes of Nicholas Anelka, Robbie Fowler, Ali Benabia, Ayo Berkovic, Sean Wright-Phillips, all the absolute legends that was in the Premier League, Man City team in the Premier League back in 2002. And funnily enough, the year that we beat you at our place 3-1 in the last Main Road derby. Very fond memories of that. But yeah,
I don't remember it.
that was my highlight last night. I've been able to play these games that I never would have been able to play on my PlayStation 2 as well, with the patches that some legend has managed to come and create. The amount of time and effort that it goes to making these patches is unbelievable.
I think we need to have a word with him, chat. I mean, he has access to these games. Chap has said that sounds absolutely incredible. I need this. I mean, exactly. He has access to these games, and he's not streaming it.
Well, I only got access to it last night. There is every single chance that Friday evening, I may even put it in the schedule because I'm not confident that it'll be going ahead, that we might be able to do this. However, I've just thought of a brand new idea. I just thought of a brand new idea, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. Everyone sit
I'm
down.
play
Fire extinguishers out.
light bulb moment. I've just
Light
realised
bulb.
that I'm playing it on my PlayStation 2. However, if I had a emulator for the PlayStation 2 on my PC, we can then use Parsec to play this ISO, so we can play it two-player.
We'll have to like get Masters of the League. Some like knockoff version of Masters of the League. Get it streamed, sir. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Mm.
Not saying anything, but he's making you wait half a week until he streams it as well. Do you know what?
Half a week.
If you want to set up a change.org to get Bibby to just be a better person and stream more 50-year-old PES content on the channel, let's do this now.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm choosing Friday is because the missus is already preoccupied, so I'm free in the evening. The evening is mine to do whatever I wish with. So yeah, it does. I think it is going to happen. I'm just not sure what time yet.
Well, I played PUBG on stream. Got two chicken dinners. I was going to say back to back, but it wasn't. There was 2 games in between. God damn it. But yeah, not a bad day for it. But anyway, that's enough of video game stuff. Let's throw the video game news out so we can start talking about video game news. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. First news story of the day: EGX Digital will replace the cancelled EGX 2020 event. I mean, this was kind of nailed on, but it's nice to get some confirmation of what's going to be happening for video games in the future. This is written by staff. That good person, staff at VG247. Nice one, staff. Repop has announced that EGX 2020 is due to take place. EGX 2020, due to take place September 17th to the 20th, has been cancelled due to the ongoing coronavirus. Nobody expected that. It's in its place, EGX will team up with PAX Online to create EGX Digital, a free 9-day, 24-hour online event taking place September the 12th to the 20th, with help from VG247, Dicebreaker, Eurogamer, US Gamer, and Rock Paper Shotgun, amongst others. Replacing a physical event, EGX Digital still hopes to bring fans, developer sessions, panels, playable games, competitive gaming, access to hundreds of indie titles, online meet and greets, and more. And we have a comment within the article that says, "We love EGX and we're saddened to have had to cancel our flagship event. Given the current climate, we just wouldn't have been able to provide our fans with the sort of show that they've come to expect from us," says David Lilly, EGX event director. "We're hugely excited to introduce EGX Digital, sponsored by Virgin Media, where we'll be partnering with PAX to bring you an epic virtual gaming experience. Working with PAX gives us the huge advantage of a global event running around the clock and featuring brilliant new content and contributions from Repop editorial brands including Eurogamer, Dicebreaker, VG247, GamesIndustry.biz, and Rock Paper Shotgun. Our unique powerhouse of events and digital expertise will make EGX Digital an awesome online event for everyone involved. More details of EGX Digital will be announced over the coming weeks." Interesting.
Mm.
Interesting. I mean, it's for me not particularly surprising. EGX Digital being a thing. I mean, we've got Ubisoft Forward in 11 days. We've had um, some PlayStation content already. We've had some Xbox content. We've got more Xbox content this month. There's the EA Play Live event this month as well. Is it the 13th or something? I can't remember. Whatever it is, it's soon. Um,
Soon.
so this doesn't surprise me. Gamescom is
Yeah.
digital, and those are all bigger than EGX in my opinion. So it doesn't surprise me that Gamescom that EGX has turned into a digital showpiece. What are your thoughts, Pip?
Yeah. It's better than not having one at all. It's interesting that they can do the meet and greets digitally, though. I'm guessing it's just going to be a Zoom call with whoever it is that's going to be doing panels and things like that. But I mean, we've praised the Steam's what was it called? Steam Summer,
The
where you
Summer
could play
Games
all the
Festival,
demos.
Steam
What
Summer
was it
Games
called?
Fest.
That's it, Games Festival. For some reason, when I say summer, I always think sale, even though that's not what I needed to say. The summer festival where they got to play demos of the games, listen to panels and things like that, which was fantastic. We need to praise EGX the same way, I think, because they're still managing to keep the machine, still managing to get information and being able to play games and things like that whilst being from the comfort of our own home. We also praise Steam for not having to go and sit at a booth, wait 3 hours to be able to play a game that will only last like a 20-minute demo. We've got the ability now to be able to do that from home. So yeah, as long as the presentation's what you'd expect from something like EGX, I think it will be a great event.
I like the fact that it's not just EGX going, oh, okay, well, we're going to have a few conferences, and then there's going to be a few indie games and stuff, and that's it. I like the fact that they've gone bigger by the fact, like they mentioned, they're pairing with packs. It allows them to have a 24-hour content schedule. Imagine if this was just people in the UK doing 24-hour content for 8 days. I mean, obviously you'd have teams tagging in and out, but by the end of it, they would all just be absolutely hanging out. Like if you get the 4 a.m. till like 10 a.m. shift, you'd be, or even worse than that, the 2 a.m. till fucking 8 a.m. or whatever. Like the absolute sleep hours. But pairing with something like PAX allows them to have, we'll do the UK sort of hours, and then PAX can do the alternate hours to
Yeah,
keep content going for that long. I mean, that is a lot of content there, though. 8 days of 24-hour content. So actually, even more than that, 9 days. In its place, EGX will team up with PAX Online to create EGX Digital, a free 9-day, 24-hour online event taking place September the 12th to the 20th. That is a lot of content
that
there.
is a lot.
I mean, so a lot of that will be essentially filler, I imagine. So you'll have, say they do some announcement panels or they have some indie sessions or so on where they announce the news. A lot it'll be then like followed by an hour playthrough or whatever like that, which is just like, okay, well, just give me the headlines, give me the headlines. But yeah, see, I think this is good news. I think this is good news. The fact that EGX is continuing, despite everything that's going on, I did kind of worry because I know EGX has some good content creators on their roster, essentially, because EGX obviously stands for Eurogamer Expo, which is an expo on behalf of Eurogamer, the games brand. And Eurogamer has like their own series of video content creators, Aoife Wilson and so on. They did their own content live from the show last year. So it doesn't surprise me to see them stepping into a digital event entirely, although I wasn't sure whether they were going to do it because I don't. Maybe I'm being harsh on EGX. Maybe it's just because I have a view of the global market. So I've been to Gamescoms, I've been to E3, I've been to big, big events, and EGX is the biggest event in the UK, but it's definitely nothing on that scale. Which I do find it interesting when they reference their event as the biggest games event of the year. I mean, in what sense is that the biggest? Is that like us being the
Yeah.
UK's number one video game podcast? Because I mean, we are according to us. Uh, so I'm not sure I would go that far and class it as the biggest games event of the year. I mean, maybe the biggest games event in the UK of the year,
Mm.
potentially. Um, Eurogamer. Oh, Eurogamer. Blasted hearing. No, you're a gamer. You're a gamer. You're a gamer.
You're a
Uh,
gamer.
yeah, you're a gamer. You're a gamer. um, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's nice to see the UK getting their place cemented on
Yeah.
the calendar. I mean, it was always kind of one of those things. I remember when um, E3 got cancelled and Gamescom got cancelled, and Eurogamer kind of went, yeah, well, we're still sticking to when so they announced the dates of EGX, and I'm thinking, why you do this? It's not going to happen. Just hold your cards closer to your chest. Wait a little bit, and then move forward. But maybe I don't know. Maybe there was some sort of insurance sort of stuff like that. If they didn't announce it, stick to plans, maybe they wouldn't have got the money back for insurances, and I've no idea. But we have the Eurogamer or Urigella as
Yeah.
Urigella's cousin, Urigamer. So it is happening end of the year, so we will probably have a lot of that content, no doubt. As it mentions, more news is coming out of the coming weeks and months, so we will cover that as and when that happens. So feel free to stick around here, Ice Cream Uploads, and we'll give you all of the news as it comes. But a story to start the day. One story that's not as nice is our next bit of news. You may remember us talking about a new triple A shooter, the first venture into the market, into the triple A market. We're talking the big market from Amazon Games. They released Crucible a short while ago, and it's not quite gone how they wanted. This story from Andy Robinson at VGC says, with less than 200 concurrent players, Amazon is closing access to Crucible. Players have until later today to access the game. Amazon's Crucible will be put back into closed beta following a difficult launch for the team shooter. Starting at 5 p.m. BST today, only players who've already downloaded the free-to-play game on Steam will be able to continue to access it. Excuse me. The move, shared on the game's official website, follows a stagnant start for the free-to-play game, which at the time of publishing has less than 100 viewers on streaming platform Twitch, which its parent company owns. That is
Mhm.
amazing on its own. According to Steam Spy, Crucible had a peak concurrent play count of less than 200 on Tuesday, which is far less than expected for a free-to-play title backed by a major corporation. Crucible is the Twitch owner's first big stride into game software as part of what is said to be an investment of hundreds of millions of dollars into game creation. In a statement, Amazon Games said it would continue to follow the roadmap it laid out in a previous update and work on implementing map, combat, and game system changes in the heart of the Hive's mode. Excuse me again. For the most part, your experience as a Crucible player will stay pretty much the same while we're in beta, he said. One of the biggest changes you'll see is that we're going to schedule dedicated time each week when we as devs will be playing with the community and soliciting feedback. The game will be accessible 24/7, so you can continue to self-organize matches with other players. We recommend joining our Discord server to find players to queue against. You'll still launch Crucible through Steam. You don't even need a new download. You'll keep all the progress and customization items you've already earned, and the Battle Pass rewards, tracks, and in-game store will continue to be supported. Last month, Amazon retired 2 of Crucible's 3 game modes and delayed its first season indefinitely. Ouch.
Mm.
Ouch. Thoughts, babe?
I, hmm. I'm not sure with this because the first thing that I thought of was that this was kind of inevitable, but it really wasn't. Like the amount of money that got pumped into it, the amount of time. The one thing I will say about it though is I don't think the marketing was great on it because I didn't realize what it was and when it was coming out until maybe 2 weeks before when we started to cover it. So yeah, it's nowadays you need to be talking about your game months before it comes out. Show us a little bit about it. If you need to, get some influencers in to do some release content around it, so that people who they're familiar with will understand what the game's about. If their favorite person's playing it, who's usually playing them type of games anyway, you get an idea of how it's going to play and the pros and cons about it. But we had absolutely nothing from my perspective anyway. Is whether or not I've just completely got over the top of it without knowing anything about it.
I mean,
Not sure, but that in itself says a lot.
that does say a lot because they actually did some of that. And it shows how badly it was done. They did spend a lot of money on influencer marketing at launch. You got obviously you get COD partner whenever COD's new season comes out, and all the influencers are paid to start streaming it again, and they all put the graphics back up on their stream before they go back to playing Escape from Tarkov or
Yeah.
whatever it is that they actually do enjoy playing. I mean, not that COD's bad, I do enjoy COD, but that's just the world of influence marketing. But they did that with this. We had Crucible partners and stuff. I remember seeing the likes of Baggers. Is that how I'm pronouncing it? Baggers? Well, I hope so. So welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream.
Welcome.
I remember seeing the likes of Choco Taco. I want to say something like Lyric or Summit was playing it. Some big names were playing it anyway. Quite a lot of them at the start. But yeah, it's interesting to see how Amazon owns Twitch, and Twitch worked with Valorant to create this code drop scenario, which made the game more hyped than the game could ever do. The desire to have something that you can't have, it's the supply and demand sort of element. People wanted to play it and couldn't get it, so it churned viewing hours. And I'm surprised that Twitch did that and then didn't change their plan for Crucible to include that. They just went, oh, well, we'll throw out hours now, which is a shooter game that's coming out after Valorant, that's coming out after Call of Duty, that's coming out after everything else, and it's completely new principle. They just kind of threw it out without that that change to create that groundswell. But even still, this is Twitch owned company. This is the company that owns Twitch that have developed a game for their own platform. Where's the advertising? I know that advertising is paid for, so every time you run a pre-roll advert, if it's showing, I can't think of something off the top of my head, G Fuel, because I've got G Fuel shape in front of me. Every G Fuel advert that you watch, Twitch gets some money and the streamer gets some money. If they replace those G Fuel adverts with Crucible adverts, then they're losing out on income. Fair enough, I get that, and it's a separate company and they'd have to pay for it
Yeah.
and so on. But the fact that they aren't advertising their own game, I go onto Twitch and I see Valorant adverts all the time, which is a game on Twitch, yes, partnered with Twitch for the drops and stuff, not exclusively, because obviously people can still stream on Mixer and whatever. But very, very close relationship with Twitch, and they're putting their adverts out because they realise that that's the key thing to do. There's no website takeovers. There's no trailers that are being shared in the build up to launch. There was no, I mean, if there was, and there probably was some of that, but it just wasn't done effectively because, like Bibby says, it passed us by. I know that the influencer marketing bit did happen, but there wasn't even a big build up to that. Usually, like with The Last of Us, it's not even a multiplayer game, that's a single player game. Content creators were streaming with the titles being like 3 days until T-Loop Part 2. And it's just like, that's a single player game that they're just going to play through with their community, and they were counting down to it because they were hyped because the build up. And Amazon just didn't have any of that. It was almost like we're Amazon, we own Twitch, so people will just play what we say. It's almost like Noah's Ark. Build it and they will come. No, build it and then it will just sit there being ignored because no one exists. You have to tell them that it's there, and then they might come and play it. And that was kind of what Amazon were guilty of. They waited until it was there, this thing built, and then they had a couple of people stood outside going, "Hey, come and look at this." That's all your
Yeah.
content creators. There should have been a big song and dance built up to it. Like they should have had fucking banners and posters and fanfare leading
Yeah.
up to it, but they just didn't. They just didn't at all. So it doesn't surprise me. Not only we've got over here Wally from Disney's Wally as a character. Over here, we have Captain Bucky O'Hare from the 90s cartoon series. Then two Gears of War's looking characters. And then I don't know what you class that massive thing is at the background. A bigger version of the blue-eyed thing from the Fantastic Four. What does that artwork say to you? Does that tell you what it is? It could be anything.
Mm.
And I think that's my biggest issue with it. Forget the fact that they didn't do a great job of promoting it. I still don't know what it is. Like we spoke about it previously when we covered the bit that they took out some of their game modes. Let's see if I can find the phrasing of what they said. There we go. In a statement, Amazon Games said it would continue to follow the roadmap it laid out in a previous update and work on implementing map combat and game system changes in their Heart of the Hives mode. Who says, do you know what, should we jump on and have some Heart of the Hives games? Nobody. Do you fancy a couple of team deathmatch? Do you want to jump in? Maybe nobody really says that, to be fair. But you understand if someone says, do you want to jump in TDM? Do you want to jump in a BR? People understand what you're saying then. Like, if I'm playing Call of Duty, we'll have, do you want to play Plunder or do you want to play Battle Royale? Oh, well, let's jump in Battle Royale. Nobody goes, should we jump in Heart of the Hives? Nobody knows what that is.
Yeah.
So we don't know what your game is. It's got a collection of characters that just don't really seem to fit together. They probably do in situ, in context. But we don't have the context. We don't know what Heart of the Hives is. So try share that information. If you're not going to promote anything about what it is, then how do you expect us to understand and really care? So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting that image that was at the very top of the article. It very much looked like the last. I mean, if you've not seen it now, you're probably never going to see it. But the last half hour of Endgame. You not think?
Yeah, well, there you go. That's it. It's a big brown slash grey slash beige Hulk in the middle. That's what it is. That's what he can be. Uh,
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. As soon as I saw it, it looks like the final bit of Endgame where they go to war. That's what it looks like to me. Very unimaginative in my eyes because it's very easy to throw all your character builds onto a poster and try and make it look cool. Yeah, it doesn't work for me. The marketing I think was quite poor from someone that you'd expect from Amazon who likes to throw all of their products down your throat. Whether or not it be adverts on Twitch for Amazon Prime or whatever it may be, the adverts that we see on TV, every 3 adverts. The fact that they've not managed to put this game front and center maybe says a lot about their feelings towards the game. Maybe their taste towards the kind of game changed towards the end, and they didn't think it was potentially going to be as good or as marketable as they intended it to be when they first thought about developing the game. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think they'll think twice about the kind of game that they want to make next time they want to bring a game out.
I think as well the significance of your Avengers comparison. So for those that may have not seen, good morning, Pez Story Mode. Welcome in, welcome in.
Come on, mate.
So this is the sort of like Avengers hero shot where everyone comes together for the slow down freeze frame, and then they move back into action. The thing that makes that amazing is that you've been through the story. You know about Hulk and how he's got there. You know he's a badass on his own. And then you go through and you see, oh, there's Thor. He's a badass on his own. And there's what's she called? Natasha Romanoff's I can't remember what she's called. Black Widow. What she's done. You know she's got a badass past, but she's there, and they all kind of. It's like the fact that they're all badass on their own, but you know the history of what's made them badass, and it's like the sum of them all together is just intense. And this is just
Mm,
like, yeah, fair enough. Wally and Captain Bucky O'Hare may have had some sort of badassness about them, but we don't know that. That's just Rabbit Man and
yeah.
Yellow Trash Can. So it's like that means nothing. That hero shot is wasted because it doesn't have any weight. Look, a bunch of people I don't know or care about together. Wow,
Yeah.
great.
You don't even know what they're running towards as well. You imagine that they're running towards another group of people to go to war, but you want to see the war. You don't want to see the hero shot of them running to it. You want to see them in battle.
I
That's the
um
thing.
I have actually had a conversation with Amazon directly on this. Being a Twitch partner, we have that level of access. They're actually running away from a Greg's vegan sausage roll. Apparently, despite all the rumours, doesn't
Whoa,
taste anything like a vegan sausage roll, and only
vegan
absolute
sausage rolls
weapons will
are the
like them.
tits.
See, there we
Vegan sausage
go.
rolls are the tits. I am not a vegan by any stretch of the imagination. You do not get this fat from not eating meat. However,
That's what she
vegan
said.
sausage rolls are the tits. I will go out
Uh,
on a limb and say that.
okay. Just gonna kick Billy from Discord. Oh, still got the Discord icon. So get that out of here. Don't bite me, bro. Right, do you know what?
Is that Marlon? Marlon, is that you, bro? I think it might be. I'm sure he used to have "Don't Bite Me, Bruv" as
No,
his
I believe that's
Twitch
an
Twitter.
actual vegan sausage roll in the chat. Don't buy me, bro. Do you
Mate,
know what? To
vegan
be fair,
sausage
I've
rolls
never
are the
tried
tip.
one. To be fair, I will try one. They're not sausage rolls from all intents and purposes in terms of what I've heard. They don't taste the same as vegan sausage rolls, but they're still good on their own. Is that? Would you agree with that?
It's the taste is weird. I mean, this is completely off topic, but hey, this is the scoop. Um, they, do you know what? They taste a bit peppery. They do taste meaty, but it's really weird. Like you need to try one just to get your head around it. It doesn't taste like a normal Greg sausage roll. It tastes obviously different because it's not got a sausage in it, but
Jesus.
it's weird. They're amazing. The ones from Aldi are world class. If you're in Aldi, pick up the vegan sausage rolls. They're brilliant.
I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. Jumping back through the chat then. It might
Chappers is
recover,
on my side.
says Chappers. Some games have a rough launch and have evolved into something far bigger, like that one with the guns. Okay, I got nothing. It's dead.
No
I'm
Man's
not.
Sky is
I'm not
usually the
gonna
main
lie. You
one.
had me in the first half there.
No Man's Sky is usually the big one, but I mean, even the likes of Anthem still hasn't managed to recover.
I mean, that still could if it gets the love that it's rumored. It's EA Play Live next week or this week or whatever week it is. It's on a Friday or a Thursday. I don't think it's this Thursday. Maybe next week. Anyway, whatever EA Play Live is, it could get revived then. And if Anthem is the example to follow, it could do. But obviously, ask us in a month, or maybe 6 months, whenever it is, and we'll see. Chapper says this is genuinely the first I've heard of this game, to be honest, which is exactly the point. Amazon. If you buy anything, it's more often than not for the last few months, it's from Amazon because you can't fucking go anywhere, and if you do, you have to go on your own, and you have to stand in a queue for 6.5 weeks, and so on. So yeah, Amazon, and then owns Twitch. You watching us right now, unless you're on demand listening on the podcast services or on YouTube. If you're watching right now live, we are on Twitch. So Amazon and Twitch combine for a brand new video game, and oh fuck, we forgot to talk about it and mention it and show it. No, it's gone. It's dead. How does that happen? It's bizarre. Absolutely crazy. Madge says Apex didn't need any coverage and hype. It just came out. Sucks for their team, though. Yeah, the difference there, though, is Apex still had coverage and hype, although it wasn't build-up hype. Apex came out and had Dr. Disrespect and Shroud and everyone, like literally everyone that had big numbers on streaming platforms. They did probably the biggest outlay I've seen from influencer expenditure at launch. They covered everywhere. Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, Facebook Gaming, Caffeine, DLive, content creators from all platforms, and not just like one or two. It was like 10 of the biggest on the platform. So that was huge. So they just kind of went, nothing to pow. Whereas Amazon, if they'd have done that, maybe it'd have been better. But they didn't even go nothing to pow. I mean, the pow was more like a pow, and it wasn't even nothing. It's like, oh look, we've got something coming, and it's here, pow. And it's just like, all right, we said something then. I wasn't paying attention, and that's kind of how people reacted to it. It just it floated by. Nothing has been established in the art before to make it have any impact. 100%, 100%. No relativity. I have no relation to woman with big fire cannons, man with big single cannon. Great. All right, fine. You're just snarly man and Bucky O'Hare. Literally, the only relation to those characters I have is the fact that I say they look like other characters that I have a relation to, which makes them inferior. So, yeah. Chapper says, "Whoa, those vegan sausage rolls are superb. Better than the meat ones, in my opinion. They're less greasy." Do you know, I actually really like Greg's sausage rolls. Most sausage rolls, like, I hate when you go to like back the sausage roll conversation for everyone that just in case you weren't clear, we will talk about sausage rolls for the rest of the day. I hate, yeah, I hate cheap sausage rolls where you kind of like you buy it from I don't know, Tesco, Asda, or whatever, and from the outside it looks like a sausage roll, but really what it is like a pastry casing with a slither of sausage meat going down the middle of it, and then lots of air. No,
Yeah, it's 95% pastry.
no, it's 95% air. 4% pastry, 1% sausage meat.
I'll have a pastry roll.
Yes, please. So yeah, that I like Greg's for that. Although they do give me incredible heartburn. But anyway, let's move on. Corn nuggets are great. Fun fact. No,
I haven't actually had them.
I haven't actually, to be fair. I've had quite a few prawn things, and some of them are good, some of them not so much. But yeah, just drop it all and just get me a spicy bean burger instead, please. I'll take that instead. It's not a burger, but it's I'll let you call it a burger. It's a spicy bean pate. I'll take one of those. No Man's Sky needs a lot of work. It needs or needed. I don't know. I've never actually played it, so I can't really say. All I can say is it's had a lot of work, and they changed the situation on that.
Well, I have on good authority from Mr. Alpi, Mr. Kangarilla Dog. I don't know if he's in the chat again today. He was going on about No Man's Sky being one of the best games he's ever played, and he said take that as a real fact. I don't know whether or not he's pulling my leg. He likes to take the piss every now and again, so I don't know whether or not that's a real statement from him, from the man himself. However, he said No Man's Sky has done a complete 360, and it's actually quite fun to play now. And I have heard that from other people as well. I haven't downloaded it myself. Apparently, it's a world away from what it was at launch. There is actually things to do, and it is fun. Yeah, pardon the pun.
Yeah. Good family man. Good family man. To be fair. Yeah, I mean, I've not played it either, and I've just seen Chapper's comment saying No Man's Sky is really just bland to play, in my opinion. It probably would be for me. It doesn't look like it's my sort of game. I like the idea that you can start up and land, get in your spaceship, and just feck off into space and carry on and land somewhere else, completely millions of miles away. I love that idea. It won't keep my attention for long, but it's not a game for me. For me in that sort of sense. But the people that do like that sort of experience have said it's gone from being to actually quite a phenomenal game. So I'll give them the benefit of that, even though I've never actually touched it. Yeah, they help with No Man's Sky, and it is what it was promised, but it's unfortunately just still really hollow. I mean, even by walking sim standards like Death Stranding is a walking sim, but that has something else to it. Are you still talking about No Man's Sky then? Yeah, I mean, lots of people still love No Man's Sky. It's definitely you're probably in the same boat as me and Bib that we're not the key market for it, but people out there absolutely adore it. And these are the people that hated it as well. So they've managed to change their core demographic, their opinion. Amazon needs to do that with Crucible because their core demographic are just not into this whatsoever. Don't
Well,
buy
it
me,
says a
bro.
lot
Says
about the No Man's. Sorry, go on.
no, go on. You continue. I was just jumping back to the chat.
It says a lot about the No Man's Sky community when I think we featured this not long ago. It's something that I told you about with the massive billboard that they bought outside the game developer's office to thank them for their continued development of the game, because it could have been quite easy for them to go, actually, do you know what? We promised a lot. It isn't working for us. It's so much harder than we ever thought it would be. We're just going to abandon this project. Here we are, nearly 4 years later, and they have made a game out of it. Fair enough, it's took them nearly 4 years to get there, but they've made a game that people are proud to say that they play again.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? It was they started a fundraising sort of campaign to create money to create to pay for a billboard outside their office that just said thanks for continuing to work on our game, and then the money that they had left over they spent on like drinks and snacks and stuff, and that they sent into the office. So I mean, you've definitely done a good job if people are putting their own money to just say thank you to you and buying food and drinks for you. I mean, yes, I mean most game companies wouldn't accept food and drinks bought in because they'd expect them to be laced with something because the communities are so toxic about it. So yeah, it's interesting to see that. Don't buy me, bro. Says, did you guys know KFC is making their own console? It's coming out at the end of the year, apparently. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that marketing. Interesting. Yeehaw! Also, Yeehaw, I'm your dad is in chat. Hey! Morning, guys. No Man's Sky is what you make of it. You need to create your own narrative. Need a bit of imagination to play. Yeah, I mean, I'm clearly that I have that, so it's probably lost on me. But yeah, I mean, it's probably not. I mean, I kind of use my own imagination in other games, like I always reference PUBG. I like the fact that there is a narrative that goes along with everything, and that's based on what happens in front of me rather than a story being written. So I can see that. That is what attracts me to playing games like BRs. But yeah, No Man's Sky. I mean, whether I like it or not, or not that I don't like it, I just haven't tried it. But yeah, it definitely has something about it. I totally abandoned Days Without Pez in my life. So, oh, Jenkins, good morning.
Hey,
um,
Jenkins.
we have a fully vegan place here in Sheffield owned by Ollie Sykes out of Bring Me the Horizon. And they do these beetroot burgers. They're absolutely superb. I'm not a vegan, but there's some great alternatives. Do you know what? I go for the so rather than going for the vegan alternatives of meat burgers, I go for the meat alternatives of vegan burgers usually. That's where I tend to go. So give me that one. I mean, I'm not that I'm against vegan burgers either. I have had some really nice ones. Like I say, spicy bean burgers and things like that, class.
Oh yeah.
But give me a bacon double cheeseburger all day. Fuck yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm your dad. Rawr, scratching my chest with short arms. All I'm seeing is a Tyrannosaurus there. I, someone check on Jenkins and Yar. I think they've. I think. You
Great
guys think
stuff.
KFC's console will be better than newer consoles or worst? It's just a marketing thing. It's not going to actually be a console. You are aware of that, right? Right. I mean, it has a grill in it, for God's sake. It's just social marketing. So yeah, I know some of the guys that are working on the campaign. Not in terms of I've ever asked them. I know who is working on the campaign, but I've never actually spoken to them about it. But yeah, it won't actually be a console. I imagine. I mean, maybe they're going to release some sort of like George Foreman Fryer thing that has like. I never watch TV, so I don't. Ah, okay. Well, do you know what? I'll see if I can find it quickly. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but it's introducing the console, the KF Console, or whatever call it. I've just muted it because I don't know. But yeah, so they've made it look obviously like a console, and there's a disk drive and there's a power button and so on. But then it opens up and then there's a grill, a chicken chamber inside, and that's just a fully 3D rendered kind of thing. So it's really good social content, but there is no way that's ever going to be a thing. I mean, it could be they could have something. Maybe they might have something that they send out to people, to press and to media and to industry and so on. But yeah, it's not going to be anything that plays games. I mean, it may compete with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X for my attention in terms of damn straight I want some chicken, but it's not going to be anything that we play games on. That's awesome looking. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm probably the only sane human being on Twitch, says Jenkins. Everyone just blink and nod.
Yes, we are in full agreement with you, Jenkins. You are the only sane person on Twitch.
The most sane person.
Yeah, doesn't he have a feature on his channel where a remote clicks and it'll show a clip, or he'll get into a fight with himself
Yeah,
and he'll
punch me.
face.
And I use my channel points to do that, to punch him, and then there's like a GTA sort of freeze frame, like.
If that's the definition of saying I want some of that.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, by the way, Jenkins 2009 in his channel, if you go through and click follow on his content, if you like PES content, you will not be disappointed with Jenkins' content. Make sure you go check him out. He's a nice guy as well. I'm probably the most sane human being on Twitch. Do it. Do it. You'll be worth it. Anyway, let's jump into the next bit of news. Amazon's Crucible is closing. I think we're all kind of happy enough to agree with that. But this one, a slightly different angle, is Nintendo's president issues their first Joy-Con drift apology. But Furukawa says he cannot comment on any specific actions we may take. Written by Andy Robinson for VGC. Interesting news. I never thought they'd actually do that. But Nintendo's president has issued the company's first public apology for Switch's drifting Joy-Con issue. Speaking in a Japanese investor Q&A this month, translated by VGC, Shuntaro Furukawa apologised for any inconvenience caused to those experiencing the controller issue. However, the president claimed he could not comment further on any specific actions we may take due to an ongoing class action lawsuit in the US. We apologise for any inconvenience caused to our customers regarding Joy-Con controllers, he said. We are continuing to improve our products, but currently Joy-Con is subject to a class action lawsuit in the United States and is a pending issue, so we cannot comment on any specific actions we may take. The drifting Joy-Con issue, which causes controllers' analog sticks to register movement even when untouched, was brought to wider public attention with the filing of a class action lawsuit last year. Filed in Seattle, Washington in July 2019, the suit alleges Nintendo was fully aware of a defect which causes Joy-Cons to drift, causing unintended movement. In the class action, plaintiff Ryan Diaz claims he sent a faulty Joy-Con to Nintendo for repair under the one-year warranty, only to experience drifting again a few months later. The suit claims Diaz's experiences are by no means isolated, and that the internet is replete with examples of message boards and other websites where consumers have complained of the exact same Joy-Con defect. Shortly after the suit was filed, Nintendo reportedly stopped charging for repair of drifting Joy-Cons and began refunding those who had already paid for a fix, although it did not acknowledge an actual fault with Switch controllers. The Joy-Con lawsuit was amended in September 2019 to include the Switch Lite, and in March of this year, the US District Judge Thomas S. Zilli approved Nintendo's move to compel arbitration, but also rejected the platform holder's bid to dismiss the case. Instead, Zilli opted to pause the proposed class action pending the outcome of the arbitration. To date, Nintendo's only public communication on drifting Joy-Cons has been a July 2019 statement in which it said, "We take great pride in creating quality products and we are continuously making improvements to them. We are aware of recent reports that some Joy controllers are not responding correctly. We want our consumers to have fun with the Nintendo Switch, and if anything falls short of this goal, we always encourage them to visit website there so we can help." According to a 2019 Vice report, internal documents were issued to Nintendo's customer service representatives following the lawsuit filing, which did not acknowledge an actual fault with the Joy-Cons, but did state it was aware of recent reports on the issue. "We want to quickly handle these questions to restore consumer smiles," the documentation reportedly said.
Mm.
I didn't expect an official apology, especially with the ongoing court case, because that's almost like tantamount to guilt. I know it's not officially, but What are your thoughts, babe?
Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember? Well, surely if you had an Xbox 360 back in the day, this will reign true with you. But the old Red Ring of Death. That's what this feels like. So we had to, if you had the Red Ring of Death on your old console, because it'd overheat, people used to wrap wet towels around your console, which I never understood. Why the fuck would you want to put a wet towel around your console? Yeah, it may cool
Wet
it down, but it'll
towels.
also blow your whole house up.
Who did it
That
with
always
wet
tickled me.
towels? I know you're supposed to.
It was like damp towels, wasn't it? It was like, but it's still wet. Like your towel would still
I
be cold
I
and wet.
literally never heard of them being wet. I knew about them being wrapped in multiple towels, but not like wet towels. What the hell?
Yeah, so it
Yes,
was like
electric. Let's wrap it in moisture.
it was like damp. Not damp as in like you can wring it, but as in like they'd wet it and then let it dry a little bit, so it'd still be coldish. So you
Moist
wrap it
towels.
around your yeah. So but then you think, are you a fucking idiot? You've got grill holes at the top of your console. Like it'll just go in. Yeah, it's 2006, man. It was a weird time.
I mean, I've
But
heard
yeah,
of
it's
wrapping them in towels, and I know people that have done that. I know people that have made it work doing that, but not a damp towel or a moist towel or whatever. That's
yeah, so it's a 2006, very weird place, man. But yeah, that's what it reminds me of because you could send your console back to Microsoft and they would repair it for you for a certain amount of time. They actually ended up extending that time due to the amount of consoles that they was getting. Like the first batch or the first two batches of that console, I don't think they actually got it right until they brought out the slim console. Or the slimmer console, which I still have. I still have my original one, it may because it may not still be modded. But yeah, I've got an original. I've got a slimline Xbox console here that's not been tampered with at all. That's still going strong, believe it or not. It's never overheated. It's just been it's a perfect Xbox 360 console. It took them a long time to get there. But yeah, you have to keep on sending your console back, and that's what it felt like with this. It surprises me that they have taken so long to issue an apology and to charge people for their faulty products in the first place was a bit shit. Especially when it seemed to be a unanimous thing. Touch wood, I haven't had this problem happen to me yet on a Nintendo Switch, and obviously I've been using mine since the first couple of months that it came out. I haven't managed to go through this problem yet, but it does seem to. It was a manufacturing fault. Let's say that in the
I
grandest scheme of things.
I agree, 100%. It was and absolutely is, and I know this firsthand because we have a Switch that has no Joy-Con drift, thankfully. But it's our second Switch because we bought a Switch, came home, turned it on, and the Joy-Con was drifting, so we instantly took it back and got it swapped for another one. And literally, this was like day one, and it's like do the calibration stuff to make sure, and it just wasn't. Whatever I did, the Joy-Con was just going like down and left all the time, which was great. Yeah, try play Mario Kart and you're instantly turning all the way. You have to like fight it back. So like you have to keep your finger on the stick with a little bit of counter push, which is just ridiculous. And that was brand new, never touched before, out of the box. And I literally that had completely gone out of my mind, even though we've spoken about Joy-Con drift before. Until now, mentioning that we bought it from Smith's Toys near the Trafford Centre, and had to take it back on the exact same day. We were like, "Hi, we've just been in like 25 minutes, or was it a couple of hours ago?" It was, yeah, because I got home, unboxed it, charged it, and then started setting it all up and everything, and so on. It's
Mm.
like, yeah, we came home, we got this a couple of hours ago, and she's like, "Yeah, I remember." It's like, "Yeah, that didn't work," so they had to like test it themselves, and like, "Yep, can see it, just can't completely like skews off," so they had to give us a completely different one then. So yeah, even out of the box, never mind after months of being used, they can be dodge. And I mean, I like Nintendo as a company, um, but you can clearly tell that they're just protecting themselves from a massive financial outlay. But if it's shit, you need to pay. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So I'm all on board for this class action lawsuit going through and just putting a company that has some of the most expensive peripherals in the world
Hmm.
uh, for what they are. Not just Joy-Cons stuff as well. Nintendo hardware, Nintendo software, Nintendo products in general are expensive. So usually you get class, usually you get quality, but if you don't, they shouldn't make it so difficult to get it back, and you shouldn't have to be paying for something that's going to fail and fail and fail again. So yeah, Joy-Con Drift sounds like a racing game. It does, to be fair.
I think there is actually a game called Joy-Con Drift on the Switch.
I bet they're fucking loving the free press, the free exposure. Everyone's searching for Joy-Con Drift. Their game's suddenly at top of Steam. Although actually, then again, it's probably negative exposure. Your game has killed my Switch. What? What? Anyway, let's move ahead. Move ahead. If you've got a Nintendo Switch and your Joy-Con start to get dodge, Nintendo are currently replacing them for free, as the article said. They were charging, but they'll just replace them free of charge now. That's because, I mean, if that's not a signal of, oh, we done fucked up, then I don't know what is. The class action lawsuit is pretty much done and dusted. So yeah, if you've got them, don't worry, you'll get them replaced because Nintendo realised that they shouldn't be fun. They shouldn't be fun. Not at all.
Is there a limitation on the time on this? Because they said originally it'd be for a year, but I can't remember seeing anything to say that actually we're only going to give it 3 years. Your warranties have been extended for 3 years.
Not sure. I'm not sure.
No,
Uh,
I don't remember seeing that either.
if anyone has the answer to that, please feel free to drop it in. Do I need to send my old ones in? Says Cammy. Good morning as well, by the way. Hashtag Joke on Drift challenge. Yeah, it depends. If they're duff, send them in by all means, and then they'll replace them, and you get some fresh new ones too. If they're not, then send them in anyway. Get some fresh new ones. I do not condone that. That wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be proper. Okay. Shh, we don't say shh. Final bit of news for the day. Nintendo halts the sale of digital download codes for its games through European retailers, now only available directly from the eShop. Written by Matt Wales for Eurogamer, the article goes on to say Nintendo has announced it will no longer permit European retailers to sell digital download codes for its games starting tomorrow, the 1st of July, meaning digital sales of its first party titles for Switch will be restricted exclusively to its own online eShop. Retailers have had the option to sell digital download codes for first-party Nintendo titles, which would frequently be discounted to prices significantly lower than those directly on the eShop, alongside physical copies for some time now, but that changes tomorrow. UK online store shop2.net first broke the news to customers yesterday evening, and Nintendo has since confirmed the decision in a statement provided to Nintendo Life. The company didn't go into specifics, only saying it had ended too many D's. Only saying it had ended digital download codes sales for its own published software after careful examination of the evolving European marketplace in recent years. It means it's not getting enough money. It did note, however, that retailers will still be able to sell digital download codes for third-party titles as well as for Nintendo eShop funds. Nintendo Switch Online memberships and DLC add-on content such as the recent Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass. We're always investigating new avenues and will continue to work on new methods to bring Nintendo eShop content to as many players as possible, its statement concluded. Not sure you are. We're always working on avenues and we'll continue to work on new methods to bring eShop content to as many players as possible. If that was the case, then you would keep your eShop content for your exclusive first-party titles available in all retailers as well. But I mean, I'm always against things like that. It seems like antitrust in terms of anti-competition. Antitrust is like the laws to protect against monopolies. So by not allowing anyone to sell, I know it's only the digital ones, you can still buy the physical ones from retailers, but not allowing anyone to buy the digital codes of their first party games other than themselves, that is monopolizing that area of the market, which, as the article actually says, the specific quote, retailers have had the option to sell digital download codes for first party Nintendo titles, and then in brackets, which would be frequently discounted prices to prices significantly lowered significantly lower than those directly in the eShop. There we go. But absolutely butchered the reading of it. But long story short, if you bought first party Nintendo titles from elsewhere, they were cheaper than buying directly from Nintendo. I refuse to believe that Nintendo have stopped selling games elsewhere for any other reason other than they make more money from selling them themselves. That is it. That is it. 100%.
Uh-huh.
Um, good morning. Pardon my manners. I don't know. Why would what? Oh no, is it because you didn't say good morning? It's fine. It's fine. You just fine. But yeah. What about you, babe? What are your thoughts? Do you see Nintendo doing
Exactly the
this?
same.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. There isn't much else to say. They're stopping money from going elsewhere to stop third parties from getting involved with it. Why would they want to do that when they know they can get more money from just going onto the store themselves? Yeah, it's as much as I love Nintendo, this is a very Nintendo typical thing. Um, so yeah, it's I've got yeah. I can't really say anything else. It's nothing surprises me when it comes to Nintendo anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's so frustrating to see them be that's class to be fair. It so frustrating to sorry, see the emotes in the chat. GG. So frustrating to see a company that's so lovely be so greedy at the same time, and then to finish with that line. We're always investigating new avenues, and we'll continue to work on new methods to bring Nintendo eShop content to as many players as possible. As long as it's just from us and they're paying full whack and not getting it cheaper from someone else that offers them a good deal. But yeah, everyone, we want everyone to be involved as long as they're paying, all the money. Not some of the money, just all the money. But everyone. No, we understand completely what you're doing there, Nintendo. It's shit. We've been looking at stats for the past year or so in various Scoop episodes where we've been touching on the switch from physical to digital copies, and digital is more prevalent than it ever will be, ever has been, and will continue to be more and more prevalent. So for Nintendo, seeing like the only way of that market thriving is to stop people having options and choice and just to put it on their own store. That's anti everything else that's going on right now, which is complete sack shit. Complete sack shit. Just what it is. But anyway, that is our thoughts on Nintendo stopping digital downloads, and I think pretty much done for the day. Let me just jump back through the stories before we get everything wrapped up and set for Masters of the League. There was a question earlier on which I did see, and I didn't call it out. I meant to respond to it. Let me see if I can find it. Someone asked if we were doing Masters of the League today. And we absolutely are. I can't find the comment, but whoever it was that asked the question, yes, Masters of the League will follow imminently. But the stories that we've been through today, EGX Digital will replace the cancelled EGX 2020 event. So no EGX at. Is it going to be? Was it going to be at the XL again? I assume so, not the NEC. But either way, there is no EGX physical event this year. It will be a digital event, a 24-hour event that lasts for 9 days. So lots of content in September. Following that, where did we go there? Oh yeah, Amazon has cancelled Crucible as it has less than 200 concurrent players and less than 100 viewers on Twitch. That's amazing. Imagine that. Amazon's AAA title has less than 100 viewers. That's 1/7 of what Zaffa Cakes gets for PES 5 on Twitch. that that is amazing. That is amazing.
It just shows what good content you can, what good content does. You want to keep people playing or keep people involved, make good content. Simple as that.
Uh, Good content. Oh, actually, there is another article. Didn't see this one.
Oh yeah, this is one that Chapper's put in
Okay.
into Discord.
Let's get in this then. I didn't even know we had another one. It was added to the agenda afterwards. Let's jump in.
I may have forgot about this one.
Reject all cookies. Get out of here. And then final piece of news: Madden 21 announces franchise mode features, and they're a big letdown. The EA joke continues. What a title! Damn,
What a stick to beat him with.
written by Jordan Heck for Sporting News. GG Jordan Heck FF. You've been featured on the scoop for the very first time. EA Sports. What the hell? Stop talking! Video just started playing. The Kansas City. What the hell? I'm hearing voices behind me. But EA Sports faced heavy criticism with its Madden NFL 21 trailer. The YouTube video currently stands at 16,000 likes compared to 41,000 dislikes. If you read through the comments, most people were asking for an improved version of franchise mode. Well, on Tuesday, EA Sports released its gridiron notes for franchise mode in Madden 21, and it's good. To be fair, the improvements to face of the franchise look really fun. EA Sports made it so that you start your career in high school, play in college, have the option to change positions, go through the combine, and pick your NFL storyline. All of this is great, and I look forward to the face of the franchise when the game comes out. But the franchise mode features, if you can call them, even call them that, are basically just patch updates. So these are the Madden 21 franchise features. Get out of here with your video. Okay, maybe not. I hate websites that throw crap like that and then won't even let me get rid of it. So the first two items on Madden 21's reveal of franchise features that the new X Factors will be included, as in like Simon Cowell's TV series from ITV. Wow! And the playoffs are updated to feature the real-life expanded wildcard playoff round. Other updates include improvements on rookie contracts, abilities, dev traits, depth charts, and playbook schemes for fictional coaches. All of these are extremely minor improvements. In fact, it seems like the majority of these could have been updated in Madden 20 with a simple patch fix. Franchise mode used to be a staple in the Madden video game series. You can spend countless hours building your team into a dynasty. Is franchise mode basically Master League then?
I think so.
It was the main reason some people wanted to buy the game at all, but as the Madden Ultimate Team became more popular, we've heard this before, haven't we? The features for franchise mode started to disappear gradually until fans got a bare bones version. I'm already pissed off at it, and I don't even play Madden. What we're getting in Madden 21 appears to be the worst version yet, and fans took notice following Madden's announcement. Mills Twitch tweeted, "You really buried the lack of updates. Classic franchise in the face of the franchise blog. Remember this at EA Madden. Your creative director should. Madden NFL 20 makes a recommitment to franchise." Yeah, okay. More tweets. Let's go back onto the article. Even Lions running back Kerryon Johnson joined in, poking fun at Madden's lack of franchise mode improvements. Can I see the image? Show me the image. EA Sports, Madden Ultimate Team, Madden franchise. That's amazing. Imagine a Premiership football posting something like that. Where was the article? We're over there. There are lots of cool new features coming to Madden 21, including personnel-based audibles, zone drops, location-based tackling, and more. But these additions only help to serve the hardcore gamers rather than the casual fans who simply want to build a team in franchise mode. The part that frustrates fans the most is that franchise mode used to have all of the features they want, but for some reason those features kept getting removed. It's not just that Madden doesn't have any new updates to franchise mode; it's that they're getting rid of things too. Despite the obvious demand for it, which can be seen in response to any tweet Madden sends out, the developers have determined it's not worth their time, or they're hoping fans of franchise mode will instead turn to Face of the Franchise, similar how to fans of NBA 2K have enjoyed my career. With Face of the Franchise much more fleshed out in Madden 21, maybe some fans will let go of their frustrations with the classic franchise mode, but there's still a large crowd out there that won't stop until EA Sports does something to fix the damage. This pisses me off. Why? There is massive potential, and not even potential, because potential means it's not been realized. There's massive need and proven need for modes like Ultimate Team, be that Madden or FIFA or whatever. These are huge things that are good for content, that are good for content creators, that are good for viewing audiences, that are good for kids that don't have the money to spend. The content side of it is good for kids that don't have the money to spend on the game modes that still want to play that game mode. And then they can watch content creators living their dreams without having to spend the money. There's loads of good stuff there. There's loads of shit stuff underneath it with all of the loot box stuff, which we're not going to get today because we do that all the time. But why do we have to have that at the expense of a good narrative? And a narrative could be an actual story narrative, like you get with the journey or whatever it was called in FIFA. Is that what the face of the franchise is? Maybe. Does it have to come at the expense of narrative? And narrative could be that, or it could be unplanned narrative, like Ice Cream Uploads FC getting into the Premiership, winning 2 games, and then losing and drawing, and everything started to become unstuck. But absolutely smashing the transfer market and bringing in Alphonso Davies. This absolute humble plug for Master of the League. This, by the way, just saying. You don't have to drop one for the other. I get that your resources are finite, development and so on, but don't just completely sack off the fans that have built you to the point that you're at now. Career mode came before Ultimate Team. Master League came before my club. And what was it called? Franchise mode came before Madden Ultimate Team. Why do they have to go, okay, you guys have got us this far, but you're not paying anymore, so fuck off. It's just like, just do both, man. Make some creative decisions. Don't just vote with your wallet, and it's shit as a consumer seeing that. I'm saying this with an element of charged anger coming from a stance that I don't know, in terms of I don't play Madden. I know this from a football perspective, and there is huge. Madge said yes, they're at Master League mode. There's huge potential. Even look at what Ice Cream Uploads has single-handedly done to the world of Master League. I'm not joking. There are plenty of other channels out there playing Master League. Shout out to Pest Story Mode and Co. But but our Master League has inspired a bunch of other people at this time of year to put some time into Master League, which is lovely. But there's desire. It offers you a different thing. The most successful games out there offer you multiple modes. So you got Call of Duty, which gave you the story mode, but then they added in the campaign, the multiplayer mode, and then when that became something, they added became a bit not tedious, but bedded in. They then started adding in COD Zombies, and then that's getting tedious. So then they start adding in the special ops kind of stuff, which I never play. That gets a bit tedious. And now we've got battle royales. Call of Duty's adding modes while still keeping the other ones in and out at different times and so on. Yeah, not all the time there, but they don't forget them because that's what got them there. I mean, I say that they didn't have a story mode in Black Ops 4, but look at how that turned out for them. But they fixed that with Warzone and Modern Warfare, should I say? They understand that you can't just let stuff like that go. So why do sports games not understand that? They think, well, you've got sports, you must be happy, and it's not sport. If it was just give them sport, it's like going up to a kid that's like a basketballer and giving him a frisbee. Play, and it's like it's a completely different thing. Yeah, but it's sport. Be happy, and it's like it's not sport. It's not what I want. Give me anyway. Get off your soapbox frame. Woosah, woosah. EA ruining sports games with microtransactions. Chic. It's the same thing that's happened to FIFA with Journey, except worse because at least we had pairs when FIFA abandoned actual gameplay and career mode. Mutt makes money. EA want your money. End of. Madden doesn't have a competitor because EA bought the NFL exclusivity. It's bollocks. After playing a lot of BAL this year, I'll definitely play more offline modes going forward. Do you know what? Absolutely 100% behind anyone that wants to have that decision. Us playing Master League, I mean, I play Master League every year anyway. So us playing that on stream has allowed us to kind of show people how enjoyable it could be because a lot of people just aren't into single player games, which is understandable. But you can the stuff that you miss out by not having that is it's a bit of a shame. There are some positives and negatives because obviously everything's single player, particularly in a sports game, you have to rely on AI, which is never as good as playing against people, understandably. But once you learn to get past that, you can have some really, really good content. Like I say, our Master League, PES Story Mode stuff, even through to Manny's Become a Legend stuff. I watch a lot of that series because of like seeing a different stance. It's not about online stuff. It's about the narrative of your character and how you push that forward. So yeah, if you're playing BAL, 100%. BAL. Admittedly, I couldn't get into because of the AI stuff, but Master League, I feel it differently. I can play that forever. So yeah, I feel like modes like that definitely need some exposure, 100%. Be it be it football, be it American football, be it basketball, whatever. Don't forget the past. Can't get to the future without knowing where you come from, with the fudges. But anyway, Angry Graham, back in the box. Anything you want to add on that, babe?
Not really, no. Again, it's charged from our perspective because of what we're experiencing with other different games of the sporting nature. When it comes down to lack of content, we're making our own content as it stands, especially with the likes of Master League. Thank you to very much to the editors in the community that are able to give us a bigger experience than what we would have had fresh out of the box. And that's why it's more enjoyable for us at this moment in time because we're making our own narrative using the community projects, i.e., new stadiums, player faces, and stuff like that. So if we was playing a normal Master League, chances I wouldn't be able to buy half the players that we've got in our team now because they don't have a face.
Sorry, just muting Slack because it kept going ship-up, ship-up. There we go. It's gone. Iceman says the latest data pack has drained the fun out of Master League for me. This is why you need it on PC so you can carry on playing data pack 6 like what we're going to do for the next 27 years. It's fine. It's okay. It's good. It's good. It's good. Do you know, I've not played any of the latest data pack to be fair, so I can't really comment on that. I don't know.
I'm still playing Data Pack 6, mate.
yeah, that's what I just said. That's why you need it on PC. We're going to play Data Pack 6 for the next 27 years. AI is key for next gen. Really hope they improve. Yeah, I think it's so difficult to create artificial intelligence. I mean, look at PUBG's bots, for example. God damn. Again, like No Man's Sky, you guys are using your imagination to bring the game to life. 100%. That's it. I mean, we have all sorts of green screen segments and stuff set up, and we're only we've got a bit in there, but we're only at the start of where we want to take that. Once we start going through and we start realizing, oh, it'd be cool if we could do this, and it'd be cool if we can do that, we could build on. But that's it. Once again, using our imagination to take it to the next level, which is a nice point for us to basically stop and say, do you know what? If you want to see us use our imagination, we're going to go offline now because we have finished with the scoop for today, but we will jump back on with Masters of the League, episode 2456. Is it like 20, 19, 20?
20.
Hey, episode 20. But don't worry if you don't want to watch all of the 19 episodes that went previously. We are just at the start of the Premiership season. We started off in the Championship. We got promoted. We're now in the Premiership. I mean, spoilers, we got promoted. I mean, if you want to watch it all, okay, you know now. But we are now in the Premiership. So if you want to join in, feel free to stick around for that. We are going to go offline. Going to get the green screen, everything in place so we can come back with Masters of the League. So if you do want to stick around for that, please feel free to join us. But before we do disappear, Bib, is there anything that you would
Yeah.
like to add?
Yes, if you do see any video game news knocking around the social media platform of your choice, just like Chappers did in the chat, he dropped it into our Discord with his thoughts and opinions on that as well. You can do so by, again, going into our Discord or following us on all of our major social platforms at Ice Cream Uploads across all of them, including myself, which is at We've Got a Beanie and Graham_Day4. Graham's tag, believe it or not. We will be live again tomorrow with Thursday's edition of The Scoop. But what time do you think we'll be going live tomorrow, Graham?
Absolutely at 10 a.m.
Ish.
ish. You get them right. Yeah, 10 a.m. ish tomorrow for that. But feel free to stick around. Like I said, we will wrap up the stream. We will go offline. But you know, feel free to linger. If not, hit the follow button and you'll get notified when we go live again. Probably 10 minutes or so. Back with episode 20 of Masters of the League. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day. And exactly like Magic Man has just said in the chat, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.